everyone. It's Nick Geo. Just a little fun fact about this office. Yeah, old school phone that we used in the 90s and early 2000s, home phone. Today, I'm going to be talking about my high school interview that occurred about 4 hours ago with a science department chair. And it was through Google Meet. It was about 30 minutes. So let me just look at my notes so I can know what I'm talking about. This position, it's part-time because the first semester would be 3 biology classes and 1 forensics. When full-time teaching, usually at the high school level, you're teaching 5 classes. And then it is just the 3 biology classes for the second semester. So if you think if full-time is 1.0, that's considered full-time. This is 0.7 because it's like 3.5 classes. This was good because the other 2 schools that I've interviewed with, they were for non-biology classes. The most recent one, which was a month ago, was for chemistry, and I don't have a chemistry certification, so I felt like I was at a disadvantage for that. The one about 1 or 2 weeks before that was for physics, and I don't have that yet either. So I feel better about this school because I have the biology endorsement. And there's no forensics endorsement, although it would have been nice if I had some forensics experience. Forensics is just analyzing scientifically crime scenes and kind of what they do on things like CSI or Bones or all those different kinds of shows. It was about 7 to 8 questions. A lot of them just had to do with my background, what I've been doing in terms of teaching, and then just different situations I've had. And they asked those questions a lot, especially pertaining to student teaching, which I finished mid-March. They ask a lot of questions about different aspects of student teaching. So that was something to note because I've seen that also with the other 2 schools. This is the first round with just her. The second round, which I might be invited to, she's going to email either way, either on Sunday or Monday or Tuesday. The second round interview would be with her and an assistant principal, and it would probably be maybe like Thursday or Friday next week. So I'm hoping to land a second round interview invite. And overall, this interview, it went well. I answered all the questions well. I spoke well. I think having this YouTube experience where I'm speaking to the camera on my laptop, I think that helps because when I'm in a video interview, because obviously we can't do in-person interviews, it's nice that I can just look at the camera and not really stumble on my words that much. I also realized that, hold on, let me look at my notes. I applied to 15 schools and I've only had 3 interviews or 3 schools that I've been interviewing for. So I realized that it's just a tough process. I think, especially as someone who was just a student teacher where I don't have experience compared to someone who might have 10 or 15 years of teaching experience, it's tough. Coincidentally, later today, about 30, 60 minutes ago, I was texting with someone who was also in my master's program, or currently is. She texted me, she reached out to me and said, how's the job search going? I was just talking about how it's been tough, and it's also tough for her. She's had interviews with 3 schools when she's applied to a bunch of districts, but she's been denied. So it seems like it's tough for a lot of people. And I think why that's the case is because I don't have the chemistry and physics endorsements, and she only has the biology just like me. So biology, it seems like, is pretty competitive, and one of my master's program professors said that because if you think about it, there are a lot of biology majors in college. A lot of people are interested in biology, but there aren't as many chemistry and physics. So I think overall there are just a lot of biology teachers, but not as many as of the other ones. So it's gonna be competitive because so many people go into biology. And but yeah, like I said, it went well because I think I learned from the last school's interview. So the second school that I interviewed for, which was a month ago, they asked a question about what was the worst lesson that you've had. And for that one, I wasn't super prepared for it. So within 5 seconds, I just said off the top of my head a situation that was pretty bad and put me in a bad light. And I could have come up with a better answer that was still a bad situation, but would have put me in a better light. So what I did for preparing for this interview was that I just wrote out on a document on my laptop just 20 situations from student teaching and what I've learned from them. So I'm able to just pick whatever situation in my head because I try to remember them. And I came up with a much better answer for that. So that was just tangible evidence that I had improved in terms of learning from my past mistakes. And like I said, it's a tough process. I told that student who she's kind of my friend, but we don't text that much, that she should focus on getting those physics and chemistry endorsements because I think it's not like English, where in English for high school, you only need the English endorsement, which you get from student teaching in English, and then all of a sudden you can apply to any English class. With science, there are a bunch of individual ones. So there's biology, there's physics, there's chemistry, there's environmental science, and there might be like health science, food science, all those things. So you need all of them just to be at the same level of hireability as if you were a English teacher. So I told her that. I told her the email address of the woman who works at the transcript office for the master's program, who can tell her that student how many more semester hours she needs for whatever it is, physics or chemistry. And I also told her to get certified, you have to complete 18 hours, 18 semester hours for that subject. And then you have to take it's around 120 question multiple choice test at a local community college that's proctored, and you have to pass that. So technically I have all the hours for chemistry, but I realized too late, and the local community college has been shut down since March. So I have to wait until the college opens up again before I can get certified in chemistry. And with physics, what I'm doing is I finished a class 2 days ago. I took that final, I got that grade. And I am doing one more physics class in a physics lab. It's going to start on this Monday. I'm just going to pay for them, register for them, and then I can just start them whenever. I think I'll start them when I actually receive the book, if it's paperback or hard copy book. So yeah, it's a tough process. I think in most industries, if you're going for good jobs, there's going to be competition. So I am just making sure that I'm doing the right things and I'm improving myself. And I kind of have this chip on my shoulder after not really getting a lot of interviews and not getting accepted anywhere when I thought that it would have been pretty easy. I have this chip on my shoulders to think, okay, they don't want me. I'm just going to become so good that they can't ignore me. That's a Steve Martin quote that I heard from another YouTube video about 6 weeks ago. So that's been kind of my mantra. Be so good that they can't ignore you. And yeah, that's about it. I'll let you all know if I get a second interview. I guess if I don't get one, I might just not really say much, but then you would realize if you watch this video. So take care, everyone. I'll be back tomorrow with another vid. Hopefully everyone has a good weekend. I know here in my state of Illinois, it's really nice weather. Well, besides Sunday. So, all right, take care, everyone. Bye.